His Majesty Sultan Haitham Bin Tarik presided over the meeting of the Council of Ministers at Baraka Palace today. His Majesty started the meeting by thanking Allah the Almighty for the blessings on this dear country and its loyal citizens, praying to Allah to bestow upon all the citizens and residents good health, welfare and peace. His Majesty reviewed the situation on the domestic level and praised the devoted efforts by all the state apparatus in all fields and sectors. His Majesty was briefed about the national efforts to deal with the impacts of the tropical condition through the cooperation of citizens, as well as directed all the state sectors to coordinate in dealing with such emergency cases in the future through putting up strategic plans for crisis management while taking into consideration the future changes. He also directed to provide all the necessities for residents and citizens from direct impacts of cyclones, as well as to raise the preparedness of all sectors and the relief centers, and to review the residential schemes and infrastructure projects besides development of water drainage systems. Regarding the role of the youth in the development march, His Majesty stressed on the significance of finding mechanisms and channels of contact with the youth to clarify all the efforts exerted to fulfill the requirements of the development march in various sectors and listen to the aspirations and needs. His Majesty directed the Excellencies, the governors, to participate with the bodies concerned by holding annual meetings with the youth and discuss topics of their interest, in addition to listening to their points of view so as to aid them in contributing in the comprehensive march of this beloved country. In terms of keenness of His Majesty the Sultan towards following up the latest updates regarding approved employment initiatives by the government and the implementation status of the National Employment Program, he stressed on the necessity to integrate the efforts with all the state institutions. His Majesty also directed to find solutions in appropriate programs as the Council of Ministers keeps following up the implementation of the employment initiatives. His Majesty stressed that the state's general budget for the fiscal year 2022 comes consistent with the goals of the 10th five-year plan, which is considered one of the initial plans to implement Oman Vision 2040, aiming to achieve a group of economic and social development goals, the most prominent of which is to preserve the financial stability and intensify the efforts in economic growth and incentives, as well as encourage investments and urge the private sector to lead an active economic diversification sectors. His Majesty also directed all the state sectors to cooperate in preserving financial sustainability and continuation of development in all fields. His Majesty emphasized on the necessity to work towards an integrated system by the bodies concerned to undertake necessary procedures to achieve the goals of the Oman Vision 2040 through cooperation with the follow-up and implementation unit. His Majesty directed to follow up the progress made in the regard, as well as support the government bodies to achieve the goals of the vision in all sectors and to face the challenges. His Majesty clarified that the Sultan's regional efforts are working through programs to serve the interest of all countries and nations in the region, while stressing on the significance of all government bodies concerned to play their roles in enhancing understanding and bringing points of view closer, which will lead to prevailing peace and welfare. His Majesty concluded the meeting by focusing on a number of aspects that serve the citizens and the country, and he directed the state institutions to continue to enhance performance in all arenas. His Majesty wished all the very best in prevailing welfare for this beloved country and its loyal people.